That chair? Right there? Good morning. Welcome back to another week here at Border View Farms. We've got a lot of little different things going on this week, but it should be a fairly exciting week. I'm hoping it's going to be a really exciting week, but we'll see how the week progresses. This thing is done. We need to get it out of the shop here and hopefully take it down to where the auction is going, although I've called this guy that I was supposed to call twice and he has not called me back. So I would like to confirm with them that it's coming and everything before I just haul it down there, because it is 20 miles away. But hopefully this afternoon we'll be taking that to the auction. If not today, maybe tomorrow. We're going to get it out of here one way or the other. I'm not 100% sure if Brock's coming today or not. I'm terrible at remembering. He's either coming today or tomorrow. So we'll get some other projects. We've melted off a ton of snow outside over the last few days. It is fairly chilly today. It was only supposed to get up into the mid-30s, but the rest of the week is in the 40s or even 50s by Wednesday and Thursday. So when it's warm out later this week, I would like to go down to my seed warehouse and my lot down there and work on some stuff for my house a little bit and with the layout of everything. I also want to, and maybe this will happen today yet, take a tractor back and get hooked up to the little field cultivator, our kind of second field cultivator that we have, and put that in the shop. It's one of those things that we don't use it a lot, but it's really nice to have when we do need it and we have somebody that can drive it. That's the biggest reason we don't use it, because we just don't have the manpower most of the time. But it could use some service work. There's some bushings and stuff that are getting quite worn out on it, and we just don't usually take the time to go through it because we don't use it much. But with Brock around this spring, we should use it some more, and we're going to try and get that in here since we've got some time and go through that a little bit. We also, I think, have some new equipment showing up at the farm this afternoon, so stay tuned for that. That one should be really exciting. I'm pretty excited about it anyway. They sent me an email here a few minutes ago, asked if they could bring it out today, and I said absolutely, just give me an idea what time. So we'll see, maybe. And I've been working on, I made a few phone calls this weekend on getting our new anhydrous bar home. So we've got to get that hauled, and the weather has finally turned nice. There's not any salt on the roads, so I'm working on that maybe by the end of this week, probably next week. But we're going to get that anhydrous bar back here, and then that's going to come into the shop. I don't think we really need to do anything to it. I just want to bring it in and learn how it works a little bit more, because it's a drastically different system than what our bar was and what we've used in the past. So between all of that stuff going on, and I may get my seed treater out this week and try and clean that up, we've got plenty to do, let's put it that way. Oh yeah, and then also this morning we've got to do some paperwork and stuff. We've got a meeting with paperwork stuff. That's where we're going to leave that. But look, I've got our conference room table all cleaned off. Don't ignore the junk laying on the side over there, but this is much better. So, okay, I'm finally done with phone calls and paperwork and all that good stuff. So let's get this roller out of here, and I think we're gonna go get that field cultivator. Okay, so there's a little bit of a problem with this bar, the design here. I mean, it's the way it is, but it's very back heavy, which means that when we unhook it, the tongue's going to want to go up. And so they put the jack in the back, but it's so dang high, the way that it sits there, that like it would take a tremendous amount of blocking. So what we're going to do with a forklift, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. So I got it unhooked there. Problem is now when I set this down, the tongue's going to go way up in the air. Don't like it at all, but I don't know if there's a whole lot I can do about it except for find a much taller jack or put a bunch of blocks under it. So I'm going to use my pickup to haul this or take it to the auction, and And I can get it hooked back up fairly easy just by using the forklift to lift it up. The problem is, how do I get it unhooked once I get there? Also, I have changed my mind about getting that fill cultivator. It's way too sloppy. The driveways are melting. We got to go down the lane. It's going to be muddier than the heck. Not going to do that today. We will do it tomorrow morning. It's supposed to get down to like 18 degrees tonight. So everything will be frozen in the morning. We can do it then. So Dad went to get his cylinders for this backhoe. They are done. So we're going to put this in the shop instead. That way maybe this afternoon or tomorrow morning we can get those installed. I want to try and clean the floor up a little bit before I pull this in there though. Something about washing inside makes my floor keep getting dirty. It's not quite Duggo's ride-on floor scrubber, but it's better than a broom. Check it out, guys. Our new equipment is here. So it's not exactly a new tractor, but I'm still pretty excited about this. This is a backhoe TCX 1232 conveyor, and basically we're going to use this for loading out of those bins that we have in the back that are not tied into the leg. We have that red transport auger that we've been using, the one that I used when we were treating seed wheat down there, that is wore out. The flighting is razor sharp and in rough shape. We had been talking about and thinking about going to a belt conveyor instead of an auger for a while, so we finally got one. So this one is 32 feet long. Should work really well for that, and it will be much better for what I'm doing with it with seed stuff. I don't use a conveyor or an auger a lot down there since everything is box to box, but when we are treating some wheat out of a wagon, I need a way to get it out of the wagon into a box. And this will work better because it's gentler on the seed and it is much better for clean out. It cleans out a lot more thoroughly than what that auger will. So there we go. We're going to bring this in the shop too. We've got a little bit of setup work we need to do to it. So what the heck, let's put it in the shop right now. I'm going to get the forklift. Don't hit the house. Sweet. Okay, so really all we need to do to this is mount a motor up there. We had a motor on hand. We have a motor on hand, so we didn't buy one with it because there was no reason to buy another motor when we have a spare one sitting on hand. They have already got the wires installed. You can see them hanging out right there with a cord that comes all the way down here to the bottom. It's got a switch box mounted on it, which is sweet. And we've got a plug. We may need a different end on our plug, but we've got a plug there. So yeah, cool. This is gonna be awesome. Well, I decided to clean this up just a little bit to make it semi-easier to work on in there and not quite as nasty. It would take a very long time to get all of the dirt and oil and grime and grease and crap off of this backhoe, but at least in there where we got to work, there is some cylinders that go in this hole and attach the ram to here that rotate the bucket side to side that we took off to get new seals and stuff put in them a couple weeks ago. Dad went to go pick them up, so at least now we can get them back on there and not have to work in the grease quite so bad. Ugh. Got all over me too. So yeah, this afternoon, it's lunchtime. I'm gonna go eat lunch this afternoon. If Dad's back, we'll help him with them cylinders, and we'll see if we can get our motor mounted up there on that conveyor. Okay, back from lunch. We're gonna go get a motor to put on there in a minute, but check it out. We've got a package. Pretty sure I know what this one is. Yeah. This is for the hydraulics on the 4440. Cool, so we'll have to get that tractor back in here at some point. This converts it over to a newer style hydraulic coupler that should not leak. Okay, I went out and got an electric motor for this. Turn it off a little bit. This is a 5 horsepower single phase electric motor. I'm sure it came off of a grain bin or something that we changed at one point, needed a different motor, a 3-phase motor, or a bigger motor, or whatever the case may be. And so we had it sitting here, so that's why we ordered that conveyor without a motor. I've also got a 10 horsepower one. They spec'd a 5 with it when we were going to buy one with it, so I assume a 5 will be enough. And I had considered just putting the 10 horsepower motor on just because we have one. But all of our outlets that we're going to plug this thing into are currently wired with 10 gauge wire. Most definitely sure of that. Maybe 8, but I think it's 10. And they're for sure on 30 amp breakers. This motor pulls 22.5 or 22.8 amps at 230 volts. I looked at the 10 horse and it would pull like 54 amps. 54 amps is too much for 10 gauge wire. And so while the motor wouldn't actually pull that many amps unless you're working it hard and being oversized on this conveyor, it shouldn't ever work that hard or be pulling full load amps. But if we really wanted to do it right, we'd have to replace the wire and the circuit breakers leading to the outlets. And the outlets to wire it correctly. So if I put this one on, 5 horsepower, 22.5 amps, 10 gauge wire is good for up to 30 amps. So we don't have to change anything. All we gotta do is make our outlets, the plugs right, which just means changing the end on this, putting the motor up there, wiring it up. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we'll be good to go here. So, since the motor goes clear up here on top, I lifted the bottom way up in the air to make this at least semi-manageable to work on. They were supposed to bring me a box with some other parts in it, a pulley and belts and maybe some bolts to mount the motor up there. Guy's supposed to be on his way with them, so I'm kind of waiting for them to get here with that. But our motor mounts up here on this plate so we can get it up there. Perfect job for our hoist. Well, I'm probably gonna have to take this down because I imagine I'm gonna have to change the pulley to a different diameter pulley, would be my guess, but I don't know that until we get the rest of the stuff here. But I wanted to see if my holes line up. They do not. This side is lined up, this side not so much. So I don't know what that means exactly. I have to drill new holes. I have to do something a little different. Dad got back with our cylinders. They are all cleaned up and hopefully all sealed up and good to go. So we're gonna probably work on putting these back in this afternoon. I'm still waiting for that box of stuff to get here for that conveyor. So that, I don't know, I guess I thought the guy was on his way. Maybe he's not, maybe, I don't know when they're gonna be here, but we can work on this backhoe. getting these cylinders put back in here. I got them in there. We've got a plate, the plate that goes on top. We're getting the bolts cleaned up that go in there. I was doing really good. I had that oil pan over there underneath there catching all the oil until the one cylinder fell and cracked it, and then it all leaked out. So now we've got a bunch of oil dry. We'll get this bolted into place, then we can get all the hose connections made, and then we'll worry about getting the pins in. Okay, I got the cylinders in place. I've got that plate on with, hold on, there we go. Okay, plate's on with a bolt in each side, so I'm confident they aren't gonna fall off. The cylinders swing nice and smooth. We've got some hydraulic hoses that need hooked up to all of these fittings and up front here. So I think they might all have different ends on them, which makes this fairly easy. That one there is for sure the small one, the small end, so I'm going to start there. Okay, so it went on up there. It already had this natural loop in the hose, which made it fit over to the other cylinder in the back here pretty naturally. So that means the other one goes from the front up here over to the back of this cylinder. And these hoses are all, they connect the cylinders. There's another one on the outside over there and down there. And it helps them so that they move in unison, one opposite of the other, to make them work together, kind of. Okay, also you can clearly see I did a terrible job of cleaning and washing, and there's still dirt and oil everywhere, but it is better than it was. So the cylinder should be hooked up hydraulically. We just need to get the rest of the bolts put back in out here. Okay, that plate is in. I got those bolts as tight as I can possibly get them. The only thing left to do is to hook the ram end up to there. Dad is working on cleaning the pins up for that right now. So I think we're gonna have to start it up and run it to try and get them cylinders to line up and push them in and out a little bit. This I think. Some exciting video. Get down there underneath it. Underneath the pad? Yeah, good idea. So we're gonna get these extended here. Dad's the operator. It's not me. Is that stuff in your way? Just crush it. It'll be fine. Yeah. Whoa! I took the pin out. I may not have told him that I took the pin out. Push this back around. I don't know. They're right there. Oh, the one that goes in the center? It's on the bench. Okay, so we're trying to get that lined up. Pin goes up through the bottom. And take a little wiggling. Go out a little. Out. What about these here that go on the top? From there. Yeah, about that. Yeah, there's lots of room on the bottom. There's about that much of a gap on the bottom. This washer's got to go in here, but I don't know how to get it in there. Okay. There, it goes in there. Keep going. Okay. Now we gotta get a snap ring on there. Yeah, we're ready for it. I got it, but I forgot to film it. Maybe the other side.
What do you want me to do?
It's gotta get pushed out. All right, try this again. Back in a little. Gosh dang it. Move it a little bit. Okay.
Is that it?
Apparently that's it.
You got the hoses hooked up right, apparently.
Apparently.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. You even got that snap ring going.
See if that pin's loose.
Nope. There's a pin there to keep it from turning. Let's see if it goes. Swing it, make sure it works. Look at that. It's almost like we know what we're doing. That chair? Right there? Dad would like to show off, but I don't think he's going to do it. Well, maybe he is. he's gonna pick up this chair, he says. Huh? Oil in the bucket? Yeah, better not. That black pan's got a big hole in it. Oh, he's gonna spill that for sure. That wasn't so bad. I don't know where all the oil came. I do know where all the oil came from, actually. That cylinder right there. Ay. It's one thing after another. A little bit of grease in the pivots, and the pins, and at least this part of it is good to go. Okay, well, we got that backhoe put back together. Dad got it all greased up. It should be good to go, at least better than it was, so we should still give it some more attention, but we'll get there. Anyway, I'm going home. And my box of parts never did show up for that conveyor, so I don't know what we're doing with that. Hopefully they'll come tomorrow. We'll see. And I still didn't hear back from this guy on this auction. That's getting a little frustrating, but we'll figure it out. We'll try and get that field cultivator brought up tomorrow while the ground's still frozen, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Questions and comments, leave them down below. See you guys.